Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be installing tube fenders on my TJ. These tube fenders are relatively inexpensive, it's just a couple $100. You can find them on Amazon. They come with everything that you need, all the hardware, everything necessary. It does require some cutting on your fenders. If you're not comfortable doing that, I don't recommend purchasing these tube fenders. There are a lot of other ones out there on the market. A lot of them require cutting. This side's already done, so we're going to be working on the other side today. So the first thing we're going to want to do is remove our factory fender flares. It's not a necessary step if you're not worried about them. I do want to keep these for a future project though, just in case. So we're going to go ahead and remove them. If you're not worried about it, you can cut them out when you cut out your fender. Alright, we'll set this aside. So because we're going to be cutting out the fender all the way back to here, this rocker guard is going to be in the way, so we're going to remove that as well. So our next step is we're going to be removing this hood latch. And in order to do so, underneath here, there is a nut that you remove. I think it's a 15mm. That way you can remove your hood latch. Now while we're under here, it is a good idea to remove either the bulb or the entire light assembly. We're just going to pull the bulb out. We're not really worried about hurting anything. And then you want to tuck your wires out of the way. So next we want to mark off where we're going to be doing our cutting. There's a few different ways you can do this. They do make templates online. I'm just going to mark off where I know I already want to cut. Important things are you want to keep that seam. You want enough material for your hardware when you drill your holes. And you want to leave that area where your hood latch goes. That way you have a template to drill up through those holes later. Alright, so our next step is to remove these 4 bolts here, these 4 bolts in here, and these 3 bolts up here in the front. Okay, so now that all our cuts are done, we're ready to set this up into place. Alright, so after doing a test fit, I did find that I needed to notch out my battery tray because the tube comes right up right here and it causes some clearance issues. Okay, so now that all our cuts are made, we've set this back up here and now it's time to put in our original hardware. So you get your 4 bolts that go through here and your 3 bolts in the front, and then these 4 down here should come with your hardware. If they don't, then just use the factory hardware. lined up right, it needs to come up about another ½ inch. What I'm going to go ahead and do is put my little armor piece back on here and maybe put a jack under here to lift this up the rest of the way so I can tighten it down at the right level. Okay, now that this is all lined up correctly, we can go ahead and tighten down the rest of our hardware. So the next step is to drill our holes from the top down. We're just going to match drill them to the holes that are pre-drilled in the fender for our hardware. And then we're going to get underneath and drill up from the bottom for the holes for our hood latch. I also made a template so that way I could know where my holes need to be for my little rubber stopper here for the hood latch. So the next thing we need to do is install our hardware. There we have it. Alright, so we are all done. A little bit later than what I wanted to, but looks good. I really like it. If you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, please hit that like button and please subscribe.